Hello, this is Patrick from SpyFu.com. Today I'm going to give you a simple lesson, how to write profitable ad copy in Adwords before spending a single dime on your campaign. Yep. It's kind of like the holy grail of ad writing. Seems almost impossible, especially for people who are just starting out and don't have a bunch of time to do AdWords trial and error by themselves, without risking a bunch of money that could be better spent starting their company. Taking the experience from domains that already have years of trial and error is what gives us effective copy before we even run a single ad. And giving you quick access to this awesome ad copy was the entire intention of creating SpyFu's ad history. Now, I'm going to start this tutorial off a little bit differently than normal, by showing you what you have access to in the free version of SpyFu. Now, the free version is just a different way of saying don't have a subscription version, or not logged in version. Anyone can go to SpyFu Classic and enter in a keyword or a domain and get some basic information about it. Right here, you will see a section called 10 Best Paid Keywords, which is actually a snippet of ad history. If I click on any of these colored boxes, you will see the actual text that this domain used to advertise on that particular keyword. Seeing the ad copy for the top 10 paid keywords of a domain is pretty neat. You can probably learn a couple things about what the top competitors in your field are up to, but this is a mere taste of what ad history is capable of. So I'm going to log in, click on ad history, and enter in that same domain. Kaboom! Tons of information in a matter of moments. So how do we use this info to write awesome ad copy before spending a dime thing? Well, this goes directly to SpyFu's core, competitive intelligence, taking lessons from your successful competitors and adapting them to your campaign. So let's say I'm starting up a geeky t-shirt company. I print and ship a variety of t-shirts with geeky pop culture things on them. I'm pretty new in the field and want to start an ad campaign, but I know there are a lot of strong competitors out there. Strong competitors with experience I can learn from. So let's try one of the big ones. Snorgtees.com. Again, just a massive amount of info. Snorgtees advertises on over 6,000 keywords that we track. And as always, we put their strongest keywords on top. Again, using SpyFu's philosophy of successful ad buying. That is, websites will waste money on PPC, but they won't waste a lot of money, at least not over a long period of time. So we know what's good by eliminating what isn't. More simply stated, if they weren't making a lot of return on these keywords, they would probably shut down the campaign, which they do, frequently. But these are the keywords that they're spending a great deal of money on for a reasonable amount of time. Now, you'll see all these colored boxes. The actual colors are just to give some visual distinction between the rows. So if it's pink or blue or green, that doesn't actually mean anything. What does mean something is when the shade of the color changes in any given row. A shade change means ad copy change. So, for example, on the keyword dinosaur clothing, they switched their ad copy from November to December, kept December's copy in January, switched it again in February and March, and then left March's ad copy in April. You see how the shade changes or remains the same for each month, depending on if they modified their copy? Snorgtees, like a lot of good companies, do this a lot. They evolve their ad copy month to month to see which variation gets them the most clicks and conversions. Any company would want to do this, to optimize what they have going for them. But again, for those of us who are starting a brand spanking new campaign, we don't have time to do this level of trial and error ourselves without risking losing a butt ton of money up front. Snorgtees already has years of trial and error under their belts. They have clearly been A/B testing their ads and evolving their ad copy over time. And it's important to find domains that do this, because you want to emulate companies that are active and focused on their campaigns, not ones that write ads once and then completely forget about them. When we take lessons from active companies and their expertise, it all but guarantees us to have incredibly effective ad copy before we even run a single ad. Now, sites like Threadless and Snorgtees sell a variety of shirts, not just geek-oriented ones. My company, however, is doing straight geeky tees. So let's filter this out a bit to find ad copy that is a bit more relatable to my keywords. Look at all of these options, and just on the keyword geek. Now, you don't have to use every piece of ad copy that they've ever written. You can find the ones you feel are best and roll with them. I usually pick out more recent lines of copy that have a couple months of weight behind them, like funny t-shirts for geeks, nerds, and awesome people. I love that ad copy, and I think it would fit my brand. Snorg Tees is definitely directing more of their geeky-oriented ad copy in that general direction. And they've been running it on this particular keyword for 4 months in a row. It's good to see trends like this, especially when spread amongst multiple keywords. At the very least, it shows you which ad copy didn't work for the domain earlier. And with active domains, you can make the safe assumption that the new ad copy is an improvement. So I'm going to go down and click on Export to Excel. Booyah! Brand new campaign now backed with years of ad writing experience from one of the pros in my field. And that's how you add solid ad copy before spending a dime. Of course, you just saw me straight up gank a competitor's ad copy word per word. That option is open to you, but you could also reword it slightly to better fit your brand, or simply take a catchy title and change the body. Or you have the option to look at multiple competitors, gain inspiration from them, pick and choose different snippets that you like, and put them together into a completely new ad. You can do this hundreds of times with thousands of keywords. You can also continue to follow your competitors' trends month to month to see how they keep evolving their campaigns, and then either follow their lead or go in your own direction. And that's the real beauty of this tool. It allows complete creative control with a solid, pre-tested base of ad copy to work from. Of course, sometimes you might not want to follow the trends of your direct competitors. Instead, you already have a list of keywords, and you want to see a variety of ad copy from the top competitors that are advertising on them. So, in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that by adding your keywords into ad history. As always, thanks for watching.